Here we go.
My life really started when I was 5 years old. My sister was 18, so she got married and moved out. She moved all the way to Virginia, which was a pretty big deal because I was pretty much an only child, which was pretty cool. My dad bought me a PlayStation and a TV, which was a pretty big deal because they had just bought their own TV. I used to watch Dragonheart and play Spyro every single day. I loved dragons, so that was pretty awesome. My best friend was my neighbor Charlie. When I was drawing this, I didn't realize that you couldn't see the highlighter, but that's me. Charlie used to come over to my house almost every single day to play on my PlayStation because he didn't have one. We would play Crash Team Racing and Spyro and probably some other games, but mostly those two because they were our favorites. We got really good at them, and it was really fun. I still remember all the things we used to do, and they're some of my favorite memories ever, and I really miss playing those games. I don't know what happened to them, but I want them back. It is taking me a really long time to draw that. Oh, here I go. Okay. Since Charlie used me for my PlayStation, I used him for his GameCube. I used to go over to his house pretty much every single day to play Super Smash Brothers. That, of course, wasn't all we did. We also played with his Pokemon figurines. But we would play Super Smash Brothers a lot, but I somehow never got good at it. I usually only used Kirby, and I couldn't remember what he used. I think he switched characters all the time since he played it even when I wasn't there, so he was really good at it, so he would just beat the crap out of me all the time. But it was still really fun, and I wish that I could go back over to his house just to play Super Smash Brothers right now. That would be really awesome. I chose Ness for his character on this because I remember him playing with him a lot and being like, PK Thunder! So I just was like, okay, stick with that. Charlie and I used to play Teen Titans, and we used to draw all the time, and I remember something about a Billy and Mandy game, but I mostly associate him with Pokemon. But as it turns out, while we were having deep discussions about the world of Pokemon, my parents were fighting about way more serious stuff. They separated when I was 7. Dad moving out wasn't actually that big of a deal to me. I mean, he just kind of moved to a different place. I thought it was kind of cool going to a different place every weekend. I still got to stay in the same school, and I got to keep all my school friends, so I didn't really have a problem with it. I mean, I still got to go to Charlie's house every day. When I was 8 years old, my parents officially got divorced. I moved with my mom to be closer to her family, which wasn't actually all that bad because I was going to have cousins my age close to me, but I still didn't like being taken away from my entire life. On the bright side, my sister moved back from Virginia, so she was only 30 minutes away from me, which I thought was really cool because I missed her a lot. But I really didn't like leaving behind all my friends and Charlie and everyone. When I moved, I got a brand new best friend, my cousin Kaoru, who is actually still one of my best friends today. Kaoru and I spent every single day together being crazy and creative kids. We had magazines, newspapers, and lots of clubs. We were convinced at one point we had superpowers, which I kind of still wish to this day was true. Unfortunately, we just were kidding ourselves. Our magazine was called Luxury, and it honestly took us about a year to figure out that we were spelling it wrong the entire time. One day, we decided to try to trick our little cousin, so we put paper bags on our heads and pretended to be aliens from Pluto called Paludians. It was pretty great, and it actually worked. He totally believed us. It was really fun. It, it was actually a really great childhood on good days. Unfortunately, there were some days that even Kaoru couldn't cheer me up, and I was honestly a really sad kid. There were some days that putting a paper bag on my head or singing our theme song just wasn't enough to keep me happy. When I was 12, things really seemed to be looking up. I made a real friend. Unfortunately, it was actually the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. I don't really want to get very into the details, but I will say that she started out as a tentacle, but quickly evolved into a tentacruel. I actually drew out this entire picture depicting that, because pictures are worth 1,000 words, and I don't want to say very much, so this will just completely show you exactly how I felt. This is making really light of how I felt, but I think that this picture is amazing, personally. This is probably my favorite part of the video, even though it's the worst part of my life. Honestly, ages 12 to 15 are just a dark blur. Bad things kept happening, and I got more and more depressed. I got to the point of being suicidal, and I even used to cut myself. I'm sure that good things happened during those years, but all I can remember is wanting to die. I don't really remember when, but sometime when I was 15, I started meeting new people. I made new friends that weren't poison-type Pokemon at all. And yes, that guy does look way too cool, but in real life he's a bit of a dork, but I love them anyways. At age 17, which is, by the way, is the age I'm at right now, I released Tentacruel into the wild, and my friends slowly started to heal me. I got closer to my family and mended things with people that I hurt. I also got really close to my good friends that helped me through the whole Tentacruel incident, and the people that I hurt became closer friends, so that was really cool and a really good thing. Tentacruel was holding me back from pretty much my friends, family, and potential friends. And now that I have all those people behind me, I'm so much happier. Now, those weird things in their hands are potions, like from Pokemon, by the way, which is probably why it took them so long to heal me, because those only heal 20 HP. Now I finally feel like I actually have a chance, like I'm not stuck. I have amazing friends and family, and I've met some really awesome people recently, like a month ago. Originally, I had everyone's names on this, which you can tell that the first one is obviously Kaoru, and that one doesn't really matter, because obviously my cousin isn't really Kaoru Hitochin. But whatever. I didn't feel like making up names for everyone, so I just decided that I wouldn't name them. So, sorry, you can name them yourself. Actually, I would love for you to name these people, because you would probably not get them right, because none of their names look like them. I encourage you, please name them for me. Leave it in the comments. I would love that. Continuing with the actual video, I have decided that once I turn 18, I'm going to travel. Hopefully starting with London next March. I love traveling, so I'm looking forward to this a lot. You know, when I was sad, I didn't really understand Charlie and the Perks of Being a Wallflower, but now I do, because I feel infinite.